So we hear that equality was an important aspect of the Saturnalia, but how exactly did that mesh with a slave-owning society such as Rome? The idea was that slaves got the night off and were allowed to participate in the feasts and private parties in the households in Rome. But consider the practicalities on this. If you owned a large house and you had a large household and you had a large party, could you really afford to give all the slaves the night off? Perhaps you had a rota instead, or some of them just earned the right to have that freedom or night off, as it were. If you had a smaller household, perhaps you could give the slaves the night off and you could do the cooking yourself, or just let them get on with it. And that's apparently what Pliny did. He just ensconced himself into a room and just let them party away. Slaves were also encouraged to give feedback to their masters, and yes, this could be a dangerous thing. Take, for example, Epictetus. He'd been a slave and eventually ended up as a freeman, a philosopher. And he wrote that really you didn't want to be too honest because your master never forgot, and there could be repercussions. And perhaps this is why the Saturnalia became linked to a type of quip you'd give if someone was acting above their station. For example, under the Emperor Claudius, Narcissus, one of his freedmen, and quite an important person, was giving some instructions to the Roman troops, and the Roman troops replied with, "Your Saturnalia," i.e., who are you exactly? Shouldn't the emperor be telling us to do this? And there's also a sort of reference to it in Petronius' work Satyricon, where a slave is acting a bit above himself, and he's also reminded, is it Saturnalia yet? So there we go. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, you want to hear more about the Saturnalia, just click follow.